Morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're joining us from around the world. It's another set of six, the second one today. And right now we are going to visit Italia. And we're going to talk to two of our friends over there in the touch footballing world. My apologies. Let's welcome Riccardo Ronzoni and Veronica Alaria. Welcome, guys. Thanks for joining us. Ciao.
It's one of the most popular words all over the world. Ciao.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. Like I said, it's great to have you on board for another set of six. It's been a fantastic platform we've had to engage the touch footballing community around the world, and people are keen to hear what's going on over there in Italy. So, Riccardo, I might start with you, mate. Just give us a little bit of a background on yourself and how you came to be involved in the sport of touch football.
I started actually play touch football 13 years ago in this little village in close to Milan, that is Brianza. And I need just to thank for this Roberto Colnago, that now lives in New Zealand, not far from where you are at the moment, or actually just closer from here. That actually just started. It was actually probably one of the first players in Italy that just took touch rugby from France. Actually, he was actually in Grenoble playing the Euros, and he decided actually to take this sport in Italy. And yeah, he started the team, and I joined the team. And since there, yes, I pretended to consider myself a touch player. At the moment, I'm the vice president of Italia Touch, together with Marco Bacchetti, which is the president, and of course other people in the board. And yes, in terms of my personal activity on touch, now I'm based in London for work. I'm a cellular biologist. I'm a researcher, and yes, at the moment I'm playing just social touch with a couple of clubs here. One is Misfits, based in London, and the other one that is bigger and more structured and very, very involved in like social and not only social stuff, is Eagles, right. Like London Eagles. And yeah, that's it.
So pretty much wherever you pop up around the world, you can always find a game of touch footy. And England
actually in the right place.
Yeah, beautiful. So now let's welcome back into the screen, Veronica. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became involved in the sport.
Hi. Well, I began playing touch 10 years ago, maybe. Yes, I was underage at that time, and then I started because all my siblings were playing in rugby, and but I couldn't because of my shoulder. So I found through a friend like this touch footballing. So I started playing because of that. And then since there, I haven't stopped actually. Yeah. So that's it basically. Now I'm based in Milan, and I keep playing with my team from Milan, and I've got some international experiences as well. I've been in the first World Championship that Italy have ever played in 2011, and then in some others European Championships. So
awesome.
That's it, actually.
So you got bitten by the touch football bug and you've never stopped playing. That's awesome.
Yes, wherever I've been settled, like I always play touch.
And your story is the same as plenty of people around the world. You were looking for something to play. Your siblings played rugby. You couldn't because of your shoulder, and touch football gave you an opportunity to play a similar sport. So,
yeah, that's how it was.
Yeah, and touch is much better for having you on board. So fantastic that you've joined us. So we'll bring Riccardo back in. I'll get both of you to talk a little bit about your experiences. How has the COVID-19 pandemic affected Italy in general, and also the touch footballing community over there?
So yeah, I mean, in terms of COVID-19 and the pandemic in particular, I mean, Italy, as you probably know already, Italy was probably the first country in Europe that faced the pandemic. So we have been really affected, in particular the north of Italy, in particular Milan and Bergamo, which is actually the city where I come from, was really affected. We had a lot of people that died, and I mean the situation has been really dramatic. So at the moment we are actually just doing quite well, and in comparison with the other places in Europe, like in France or Spain, or even in England, we are actually just doing quite well. In terms of Touch, we had like a couple of meetings in the last month, but because we are actually thinking to start or trying to reopen something, but we have not actually specific rules or specific specific rules or specific order from the government. So the government is actually just being quite strict on the rules for gatherings or sport activities in general. And so Touch at the moment is quite stopped. We actually just decided, like couple of weeks ago, probably, yes, 10 days ago, to keep actually these stop until the end of the year, until the end of 2020. In order just to stop, it means official competition. So in Italy we have just tournaments, so it's quite at the moment it's impossible thing to organize tournaments with more than 200 people. So at the moment the government is asking for testing all of them, all the people that are actually just taking part to a sport activity like this need just to be tested, or actually just provide something that can demonstrate they are negative to COVID-19. So you can imagine in a situation with 200 people together on a pitch, or like, you know, on a limited area, is definitely impossible to think about to do that. Of course, we are pushing for social activities, or just of course just keeping the security measurements, and of course the distance, and all the rules that the government is actually asking to put in place. But at the moment, officially the competition is stopped.
Yeah.
Hopefully we will restart with January next year.
Fair enough. And I guess that the light at the end of the tunnel is that around the world, touch football competitions are recommencing, but it's important for the general community that you look after yourselves, isn't it? And
we need to find a solution. We need to fix the bug before.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So we might bring Veronica in as well here. What methods of Touch Italia are utilised to keep, everybody connected during the pandemic? Have you tried any interesting ways to keep everyone together?
Well, yes. Like I know. Like they've been through some national call, like to update on the rules, on the rules of touch.
Yeah.
And then I think most importantly, what has been going during the quarantine, especially during the lockdown, is that teams, like I know a lot of teams have settled like some social events on through Zoom and or Skype, and then some others I know they've organized some online trainings. So there were the coach who were trying to do some like exercising, trying to like and to keep people as fit as possible. So I know like many, I think most of the teams have been organizing online events such this. And I think what happens that have been really interesting is that the community of touch, like especially some communities, have been reinforced and built up a little bit more during the pandemic, like and during the lockdown. For example, like I know the Younger Touch team, which is the team that gather people under 23 years old throughout Italy. They've got a lot in chat. They keep they take themselves updated on the situation, on personal situation too. So at the end of the lockdown, when it was possible, they organized to meet each other and to spend some time together playing touch as well. So I think that was good. That was good.
Yeah, it's fantastic that everyone's staying connected. It's a physical health pandemic, but I think the mental health aspect of it as well is important, especially when communities like the touch footballing community spend so much time together. To be isolated from each other can cause some problems.
It was actually really fun to see like people on the screen training themselves and then trying to motivate each other. But then it was and I think a lot of team like they will take out something from this period.
Awesome. And what, on a personal level, what is it about the game that you miss not being able to play it?
Like for me, like what I miss is like the feeling of being on the field and the feeling of the competitions. Like for example, my team have started last week, like trainings. I've restarted trainings, and then it was like all the feelings was actually like amazing, because we really want to play, and when we got out on the field, we just want to run and play and laugh together. But then what I personally miss is the competition side.
The competition.
Like, playing against each other it's amazing, but then it's not like playing a tournament.
Yeah. So we have a competitive one here on the screen with us tonight. Awesome. So Riccardo, we're going to have a chat to you now about the World Cup, 2019 World Cup over there in Malaysia. An interesting experience for everybody that was involved. Tell us a little bit about your experience and what you took away from the event.
The World Cup was amazing. I mean, it was I was speechless at the end, actually, even during. I mean, it was actually my first World Cup. I was involved in the Euros as coach for the Women Open a couple of years before, but of course it was actually like a nice experience as well. Of course, a nice group, but of course, like being in the World Cup and being in such an amazing kind of environment. I mean, the level was absolutely super high, and it was a good place to meet and to see the best touch, of course, in the world. And I mean, on a personal point of view, I was absolutely delighted to be there, to have the possibility to play and to, be involved and to give my contribution to the game, of course, and to Italy, even if I'm actually a little bit old to play in the Mix Open. But we probably just chat about, numbers and in Italy later.
Yeah.
Apart of this, we generally consider like the World Cup, the Euros, or all the international competition we try to take part of as like a moment in which, of course, to have fun. But the most important thing in general is to try to gain experience, gain information, and try to learn from who is actually just better than you. I think is actually the best way, and is the only way we have to progress and to grow up. As you can imagine, Italy is not a very rugby country. We've never been a very rugby country. We're not Australia, we're not New Zealand, but we are not even France or England or Scotland or Wales.
Yeah.
Rugby is actually really a real solid how to say, identity, as like a proper identity. So World Cup was like a special word. I mean, was a special word. My experience was great. We actually just struggled a lot. We actually just wasted a couple of games. Yeah, it was quite annoying. We were really close to a couple of them. So our final position could have been like a little bit better. But apart of that, we arrived with the best intention at the maximum level competition. But of course, we were absolutely aware that we had, like, in our pool, we had Australia and Scotland and France. I mean, and England. So
they just keep adding up.
Well, do I need to go ahead?
Yeah, as you said, and the reality of the sport in Italy is it's a small player base. So to come and compete on the world stage like that, it's about the experiences you take back to Italy. It's not about beating Australia or beating England. It's about the experience you guys can take back. So
exactly. So if I can interrupt. I definitely remember one. I think as like 13 at that time, 38 years old player. That so I've been involved in touch, but in other sport. I was in rugby. I've been in quite good level volleyball, even rally competition. I've been a co-driver for 10 years on a rally car. So I actually just succeeded or just got my success in terms of sport. So yes, the competition is a competition, but what was actually just made me very happy was actually the face once back of a couple of people that were playing in the mix open. I actually just remember Leon, that is Veronica teammate. It was actually 17 at that time, and he came back home. I mean, delighted. He was, I mean, so full of enthusiasm and was absolutely. I mean, I think for him, for every one of us, but for him and for this kind of, this is actually our future. He's growing up a lot as other young people in our country. But when I was his age, touch rugby was not in Italy. When I started play. So I had the possibility to be involved in this kind of competition, or even actually just have the possibility to interact with people at that level, is something that is gold. Is something absolutely crucial for the growth of a nation like Italy.
Yeah, that's awesome insight into what makes the sport, but also the people that are involved in the sport over there tick. So, and you touched on it. The playing base is a small playing base in Italy. Veronica, can you give us some insight into where touch is played in Italy? Where's the sport based, and where are you looking to attract the next lot of players through?
Well, I don't know a lot about the numbers exactly. Maybe Riccardo can answer better about it. But then on the, like, I think most of the teams are settled, like, mostly in the north and in the center. Like, there were some teams in the south as well, but then not many have survived. Like, they played recently. So I think we do have teams in Rome. We do have teams in Benevento, but I think most of the teams are settled in the north, and I think on the northeast especially. So we have few teams in Milan, like a team in Milan, a team just outside Milan, which is Riccardo's team. Some teams in Turin, but then mostly in the north, and especially in the northeast. The plan to grow and to involve many more people. I think we are trying to involve, like, more young people, like since because as Riccardo was saying, like it's our future. Like so, for example, Italia Touch have started special program, and they've created a special team for players under 23, and I have the honor to train them for a year and a half.
Oh,
Then
awesome.
I had to stop, but then I think that experience is it was amazing because you could see like the enthusiasm and the motivation of young people who really want to learn and who really want to stay together. Like and it's different. It's different from adulthood. Like it's completely different. But then I think that's the way we can grow and build up some new people and better players too.
And it's interesting to watch you talk about it, because I can see the passion that you have for helping the younger people come through.
No.
That's awesome. Just to see you talk about it. It's
no,
I can hear it in your voice, but I can see it.
No, you know why? Because I think like what we did is we ask like under 23 players around Italy to come and just train together just for fun at the beginning, and then they kind of build up themselves like some strong relationships, and they actually become a great team, not because Italia Touch or the coaches wanted it, but then because they want to play together and they enjoy it. So I think that's the most important and motivating side of this. So I think that's the way to grow up.
To keep up the good work there. Riccardo, we might bring you back in and just give us some insight, mate, into the playing numbers in Italy there and where you can see the growth coming.
Well, so in order just to have like an idea, the first proper Italian championship has been played 11 years ago, roughly, in Italy, and 6 teams were part of this championship, if we can actually just define six teams like a championship. At the moment, the last numbers, we have 22 teams spread all over Italy, with around 500 players, which is actually like a good number for a country like Italy, where
definitely
we have like the football that is like a religion here. So it's quite difficult. So 90% of people, probably a lot of people in Italy just play only football. So football is the sport. But anyway, apart of this, as Veronica was saying, most of the teams are actually just concentrated in the north. Is mainly where rugby is. So Lombardy, Milan area, and in particular in the Venice area, is in Veneto, where Venice is, north to Venice. We have a lot of, we have Rovigo, Treviso, that are actually even famous for rugby teams. And we have a lot of teams there. We have a really good teams there. We have another team in Torino, which is actually a very solid and old team. One of probably one of the first teams in Italy. It is Leprotti Torino, and then we are actually just developing a lot in the south. We have now L'Aquila, Benevento, and of course Rome. Rome is actually just working hard to grow up. We have like a person in particular that is also part of the board of the Italia Touch board. That is Simona, that is working hard to actually just spread the knowledge and try to create new teams. We have actually just a couple of new teams are coming into. And yes, mainly these are actually the main numbers. we unfortunately we quit the last championships, the 1920 season. So we didn't play the finals, but we were actually just introducing even a new method for giving like the Italian to giving the first place of the Italian championship. Because everything was actually just born like for 6 teams, and then 10, and then 12. So now the number is quite big. The number of tournaments is actually just exponentially increasing. So we were actually trying to change also the system to play the Italian championship, but of course is still like an experiment, and is still like on a paper, because we are actually not able to. But we are actually quite positive on that, as Veronica was saying. We have like this under 23 kind of group, so they are working really hard, and for this we need just to thank Simone.
Yeah, awesome.
Because it's there, Simone, Veronica, and all the people in the team, because they are actually just working hard to keep these people together. But of course, once again, it's not always as easy to go and fish young people around, because of course of football, because when you play when you speak about rugby, the Italian mama scared about, oh my god, my son will come back home full of mud and full of scratches and whatever. So it's not easy, and of course having like few resources to promote getting into the schools, and trying to develop these movements it's a little bit difficult, but we are positive. We are actually just collaborating now. We are trying to get or keep in touch. Sorry for the
I saw what you did there. That was good.
Bad joke. With some rugby teams, in order that even for them is actually quite good to spread the knowledge, and having something that is not proper full contact rugby is something that could be appealing for people that, okay, I love the rugby, I love the environment, I love the the vibes, but I'm probably not big or strong enough to play rugby. So touch rugby could be, in that case, represent a good alternative for other people.
I think you've hit the nail right on the head there. It's something that we've discussed with several countries during these sets of 6, is that we're now promoting the sport as complementary to those other games. So rugby obviously is the most common denominator there in Italy, but it's about, like you said, offering an alternative. But at the same time, you can prepare the rugby athletes by playing touch. The skills that are involved can only improve their skills in that contact game as well. But it offers the alternative to those mamas that don't want their boys to get bashed up.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I was actually chatting with a friend of mine, a rugby mate that now is actually like a really, really good coach. And I was saying, look, if your player, and in general Italian rugby player, have played touch before, our national team would be definitely better. I mean, touch rugby is very propedeutic, I think, for rugby itself, and in particular with modern rugby, which is actually just becoming faster, and
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a really, really propedeutic sport, and I can see now someone slowly and quite shyly is actually just introducing touch or something similar to touch for mini rugby or very young athletes or future rugby players. They just do, and I think it's very positive, and that's why we need just to keep and try to try to go into these rugby schools in order to say, guys, we exist and we can actually just collaborate. Even I think that touch rugby and rugby on some other points are two different, completely different sports.
Absolutely. They are very different sports, and in the countries like New Zealand and Australia, they exist on their own. But they offer that that relationship and the preparation. And I guess we're an alternative in both countries. Here in Australia, we have the same. They're not Italian mamas, but the Aussie mamas are exactly the same. They don't want, little Johnny or little Riccardo to be hurt playing rugby, and this is the alternative. So we'll bring Veronica back in. We've had a couple of comments come our way already from the viewers out there, and we thank everybody. The lovely Joanna Costa. She's reached out and said, I'd like to ask, how did you get interested in touch rugby? I think we've touched on that one. But she's also asked a follow-up question in, what's your favourite thing about touch rugby? Riccardo, is there a connection with Joanna?
Yes, I've probably met a couple of times. I can see the picture. I probably just met her.
Probably met her. Yeah, fair enough.
Around the area. I mean, here probably not far from Warren Street Station, that is around the corner.
There you go. But yeah, so what's your favorite thing about touch?
I really love the social part of touch. I think touch is actually it can give you something that is unique and you cannot just find in other sport. I mean, I've been involved in, as I mentioned before, in other sports. I've been in different sports like volleyball, like rugby, like car, motorsport in general. But in particular, what is actually just giving me is absolutely the possibility to meet a lot of people, be absolutely friendly, even with a competition, with a proper competition. Everyone, when he's actually on the field, just play for win. I mean, it's absolutely, even like in a less and in the most social game, you play for winning always. But actually, at the end, is the fair play, is always like the social side. I met a lot of people around the world, in particular with my Italian club, the Brianza Touchers. We had the possibility, and for this reason, I need just to thank the coach Nico, that is actually also the coach of the national team. He actually just pushed very hard to take us around Europe mainly. And it's so nice just to go around and in another tournament and meet again other people that are probably playing with another team. But it's always like a big family, and this is actually the thing I like the most of this game. It's something that is unique. I actually I can bet that it doesn't exist in other sport like this, and I'm absolutely sure of what I'm saying.
It's the sport of touch is one that if you make a friend in touch, you make a friend for life, and that's
definitely
that's something that I've been around the game for a long time, since I was a little boy, and one of the first rep teams I ever coached, we had the anniversary of our 29th anniversary the other day, and in a month's time we'll be going away as a group of guys. We're all now in our 50s and late 40s, but we're all still together 29 years later. So that's what touch is all about. So Joanna's asked the question, Veronica, what about yourself? What's your favorite thing about the sport of touch football?
Apart the social part, which is not obviously amazing, I think for me is like the opportunity to play with and to interact with people, with different people, like of different age, men and women. Like touch, I think it's for everyone. Like I had the chance to, I don't know, play with my brother, for example. Like I don't think there are many other sports where I can play with him and with guys. And then on the age side, like I started play when I was 17, and I needed to interact, to play, and to with people like of 35 years old, 40 years old, and it was special. Like it was interesting, and it wasn't always easy, because a 17 years old girl with a man of around 40, it wasn't always easy. But then I can say I've learned a lot and now I can see the results in work-wise, like as well. And so I think that's it's amazing. And also like so in some teams like siblings are playing together, and in some of them like mom and daughter or mom and son, like it's just amazing.
It's a family sport. My sister played at 3 World Cups for Australia, and I grew up telling everybody that my sister was a better football player than I was. So,
that's what I do with my brother. Like he played in the last World Championship, and I say he's one of the best players.
But you're right. It is a family sport. Everybody can play. I played with my father. I played with my sister, cousins. It really is a sport for everybody. So, that's great insight into what makes it enjoyable for you. Another comment that we've had come our way from one of our viewers, Simon, said, Italy always has great stash. Designer touch kit on and off the field. Can't wait to see the kit for next year's Euros. Just hope you can find someone big enough to swap with. So, yeah.
Come on, let's keep in touch. If you want, we can actually just provide
an extra set for Simon. I'm sure he'd be happy.
Just write me.
So the off-field fashions are big over there in Italy as well. Some more comments.
Not good. We are probably not very good in touch, but we are famous for
Yeah, you look good.
So we need to keep high the name.
There you go. We've also had a comment from one of our Fijian friends that must have been watching earlier. Here, some Italian teams are thinking of coming to Fiji for the International Fijian Carver Cup. Well, that'd be something to see, the Italians over there in Fiji.
Yes,
I mean, yes, please. I'm in.
We can actually just talk about. I mean, with Fiji, I think after the last World Cup, we have now a very important and special relationship. Actually,
yeah,
we were very close. Our tents were actually just side to side.
There you go.
And yeah, we have friends, as you were saying before. I mean, once you find a friend in touch, you find a friend forever, for life.
Yeah, 100%.
Fiji, like one of the best guys, always happy, singing, and the tent, and actually like definitely like good level touch. There was like a tent full of people, always full of joy, and of course you can imagine a small tent. Playing, but yes, I remember a really, really nice chat with them, and it would be great. It would be great to go in Fiji just for Yeah.
So let's touch on that.
Yes,
the Carver Cup would be one thing, but obviously the Euros are the closest thing to you, and you both competed at the Euro Championships. How important are international events like that for developing the game, not just internationally, but in Italy?
So, well, sorry,
I'm just saying, how important are international events like the European Championships? How important are they to developing nations like Italy?
They're crucial, of course. The main problem in Italy that we have, like, as you can imagine, like big gap between teams. We have like a lot of developing team that actually started quite recently, so they need just to be, they still missing like a proper, game structure or like game knowledge or game experience. So, and of course, teams that are actually started playing ages before. So, and with players that probably had the possibility to go around and go outside Italy, maybe, play with international level in general. So there's like a big gap, and so the growing of this team that they actually just the next step for this team and for these players is a little bit difficult in a national context. So going outside for international tournaments, not just Euros, is absolutely important. In particular, playing with other people, mixing teams with other people. So just for example, my some of my teammates of the Italian for Brianza Touchers were actually just in France, in Grenoble, last week for playing, and it was a mixed team with some French guys. That was absolute, and this is actually what is actually just making you growing up. But the Euros as the World Cup is even maybe more important for us, because of course, you know, Malaysia is far, and it's really nice to talk with, you know, the Australian guy, the New Zealand guy, or, you know, Japanese guy. That, you know, we are talking about probably the best, the heaven of touch.
Yeah.
And of course, is the other side of the world. It's difficult even just to say, oh, let's plan a training session together.
Yeah.
You know, England, France, Scotland are not around the corner, but it's 2 hours, 3 hour flight. So it's something that is doable.
Yeah.
We are collaborating with France. We have some good friends. Cecile, for example, that is known all over the world, I think.
Yeah.
He's actually just collaborating with us. He's helping us. He helped me. We actually just coached together the women open for the Euros. But of course, back to the Euros, these kind of experiences are for us absolutely crucial. This year we were actually thinking to enter the third team, so not going with 2 but with 3 teams, but unfortunately it's been cancelled. So
yeah, but I mean, planning for things like that in the future, obviously the borders will reopen, the championships will go ahead at some stage. So yeah, I think you've touched on and highlighted the importance there of that sort of tournament for you guys. What about, how can other touch playing nations help Touch Italia? What is it that you could, if you could put a wish list out there to around the world, what can we do for you guys?
come in Italy.
Come to Italy.
I was trying to say.
Yeah.
And we have good food.
Oh, I hear that. I hear you have good food,
Good
Nice
wine.
great clothes, nice wine, beautiful women,
Yes.
handsome men.
I probably beautiful women, probably the nicest girl ever.
Yeah, very
No.
good.
Apart we are collaborating at the moment with some Australian guys. Our World Cup, the last World Cup, our team were actually just the mix open and the over 40. But the over 40 is actually what was quite a particular one, because we had like 12 players that were over 50, all Australian Italian second generation, but
yeah, absolutely.
Australia, that were so. I've never seen people as proud to wear the Italian vest.
Oh, 100%.
I was amazed. I was delighted about that. I need just to say thank you for Alex Ferro, that is actually in Australia, and
Alex,
that actually just promote, as all the other guys, but they promote these stuff. Alex was actually helping us a lot with different sessions. He came in Italy in a couple of occasions to help us with some coaching. Of course, he's sending up like advices, but of course, it's very difficult. We were actually just talking with Fit in order just to trying to, you know, growing up in all the levels. So I think first of all, we need just to improve the level of referees. At the moment, we have no level 3 referees. So we have just 2 level 3 referees, but we have no, for example, coaches for referees. No people that are able to give this level 2, for example. So it would be very, very good for us to, you know, include and just to have like a support from FIT or EFT or whatever, in order just to grow up in this way. For example, and Veronica was mentioning before, we had one of our social or like online meeting. We had a meeting with Sylvain, that is a very, very good ref.
Very good referee,
Yes, very good ref. from France. He was absolutely amazing. He actually just gave us this presentation about the new rules, the new set of rules that have been introduced to touch rugby. And on that base, we actually translated all the rule book and we presented the book. But of course, yeah, it's just a little step. We definitely need, like, in developing also the coaching a little bit. At the moment, we have 2, 3, 4 people that have made a proper coaching course. All the rest is just the pure Italian instinct,
Yeah,
style. So we are trying to learn from imitation, so looking videos or just going for playing with other people, but of course having like a specific structure, having like specific a specific help from someone that is more experienced or expert in this. That will be definitely very, very good.
Okay, so we're putting the call out there. Anybody that's willing to offer experience and assistance to Touch Italia, the arms are
food and wine.
Food and wine. The arms are out there. They're welcome.
Not sure about girls, but we can work on that.
You don't have to make promises you can't keep, Riccardo. But no, it's interesting to hear the insight you give about the Australian connection. Quite a few of those guys I've known for a long time, and you are 100% correct about the pride that they had in representing the mother nation in Italy, and the amount of work those guys do behind the scenes to help promote the sport over there, in the expat community here in Australia as well. And I'm sure all around the world, the expat Italian community, when they experience touch football, they take it home when they go. So, thanks to those guys, and hopefully a few of them are watching. I just want to put it out there. I'm going to wrap up the conversation, but I want to ask Veronica, the first competition match, you're back out on the field. How are you going to score your first try?
Oh my God. I don't know. Hopefully it would be a nice try on the wing, maybe.
On the wing?
Yeah,
a little side step inside a man that was coming across the cover, and Veronica sidesteps and dives underneath the touch. Hey, how about that one?
Pardon?
How about that one? The man coming across in cover, and Veronica steps, goes back inside and dives underneath the touch to score a try.
Maybe, hopefully.
I can picture that one. Riccardo, what about yourself, mate? How are you going to score one? Are you more the distributor? You set up the tries for the other players?
Yeah, kind of. I'm actually just getting old, and my knees are not. I had like 3 surgeries on my knees, so not a lot of steps.
Not a lot of steps.
I'm bump and split and actually diving.
Beautiful. Well, that's all it takes. As long as the ball gets across the try line, it doesn't matter how it gets there. So, Riccardo, Veronica, I just want to say thank you very much for joining us on a set of 6 here. People around the world have been interested to hear what's happening in Italy, and we've done that now. We spread the message. So hopefully, it's gone out there. The people could come across and have a listen and help out with Touch Italia. So we look forward to hearing your exploits around the world stage and seeing how you develop in the coming years at Euros and the like.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you very much for this time with you. It was nice. It was really, really good. And if everyone is actually just interested, we have like a Facebook page. So just follow us on Italia Touch. And I would like just to tell to Simone and Savin, the Fijian people, for the vest or for this tour, we are, please feel free to contact us on the web page or on the Facebook page, and we will try to sort everything up.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Riccardo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Veronica, for joining us.
Thank you.
To all of the viewers out there, that's the end of another set of 6. Thanks very much for watching and listening. And like we said there, help out our friends over there in Italy. If you're heading there for a holiday, just reach out and make contact through the Facebook page. It doesn't matter how much you can offer, but just any offer of assistance will be greatly accepted. So players, referees, coaches, help out next time you're traveling towards Italy. So that'll wrap us up for another set of 6. Thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.